Okay, so imagine if the baseline cost of having an actual original thought just suddenly dropped to zero.
Which, I mean, sounds completely crazy at first.
Right, it sounds like sci-fi.
Mm.
But today we are doing a deep dive into an 84-page blueprint by Story Buddies Play called the Openai Astra Economy. And our mission today is basically to understand the macroeconomic shocks triggered by this rise of what they call synthetic intelligence.
And honestly, whether you are steering a massive enterprise or, just trying to future-proof your own career, you really need to understand this transition. It's rewriting everything.
So let's unpack that transition. The guide talks a lot about innovation moving out of physical labs and, well, straight into server farms, like in pharma and biotech. They are moving toward in silico drug discovery.
Yeah, bypassing the physical stuff completely.
Right. But wait, I have to push back here. Is this the actual death of the multi-year product development cycle? Like, are we genuinely just replacing scientists with silicon simulations?
Well, what is fascinating here is that it's much more than just a simulation. It is about building autonomous research loops. So traditionally, a pharma company spends millions on physical labs,
Oh,
right?
yeah, massive overhead.
Exactly. They pay human teams to mix compounds, document every failure, try again. But with synthetic intelligence, an algorithm generates like a million molecular variations at
Oh,
once.
wow.
Yeah, and then it tests them against virtual biological models, learns from the failures, and spits out a refined batch of compounds. And it does all of that in a weekend. It is hypothesis generation at a scale humans just can't match.
Okay, but if an algorithm can spit out a million viable chemical structures by Monday morning, we run straight into a huge wall. Who actually owns those ideas?
Yes, the intellectual property paradox. I mean, the traditional business model relies heavily on patents, right?
Right.
But to get a patent, you have to prove you were the first to invent something.
So patents used to be like a castle moat, but now AI basically just handed every competitor a teleportation machine.
That is a great way to put it. Imagine trying to claim copyright on a melody, but a computer just generated and published every possible combination of musical notes on the internet in a single afternoon.
You can't. The machine has already established prior art for basically everything.
Precisely. AI is flooding the zone. Machine-generated prior art is just creating massive legal chaos. So traditional patent defensibility is completely eroding.
Because you just can't rely on locking an idea in a vault anymore. A rival AI probably already thought of it.
Right, so corporate value is shifting away from owning patents to just sheer speed of execution. You have to be the fastest to build it.
Which means the real power sits with the companies building the intelligence infrastructure itself.
Yeah, and if we connect this to the bigger picture, a handful of platforms now control this infrastructure. That creates massive antitrust and algorithmic collusion risks across the US, the EU, Asia, everywhere.
So if patents are practically worthless and algorithms are doing the heavy lifting, what happens to you, the listener? I mean, if you are a knowledge worker, this seems like a structural earthquake.
Oh, it forces a total shift. We are seeing a complete decoupling of output from human headcount.
Because companies used to practice geographic labor cost arbitrage, right? Like sending tasks overseas to save money.
Exactly. But when an AI agent costs $20 a month, whether you are sitting in San Francisco or Manila, that geographical discount just vanishes.
Wow, so the global talent pool just completely flattens.
It does.
Here is where it gets really interesting for you as a professional. Your value isn't doing the heavy analysis anymore because AI does it practically for free. The playbook has to change.
Yeah, you have to move from task execution to high-level orchestration.
Right. You become what the author calls a nomadic augmented knowledge worker. You are just directing the machines.
Which raises an incredibly important question for governments. How do we even measure individual productivity or calculate GDP during this wave of technology-driven structural deflation?
Because software is synthesizing a massive market report for pennies instead of a consultant charging 50 grand.
Exactly. The old metrics for wealth creation just start breaking down entirely.
So the Astra economy basically forces enterprises to become these post-labor agile operators where synthetic leverage always beats deep pockets.
You bootstrap with compute power, not human capital.
So true. And as you navigate this era of near-free knowledge creation, mull this over. If machines can simulate and invent instantly, how long till the very concept of a trade secret vanishes? Because rival AIs can reverse engineer any product on the market just by observing it.